Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me this week. So this week I'm going to be talking about Claude Cowork. Everybody's talking about the new functionalities on Claude and how every week they're releasing new functionalities. And to be honest, you know how Manus is my go-to? Well, I'm going to be comparing it to Manus and also just exploring Claude Cowork and what it can do. But this will be a series of videos that will just look at Claude Cowork, and then eventually I'll probably do a side-by-side comparison. So if you're interested in coming with me to explore Claude Cowork, then please keep on watching. Okay, so it was quite difficult for me to actually get a subscription to Claude. It's not available here in Hong Kong, so I had to go through the Australia route. And I also have got my VPN on so that I can actually show you. Everyone keeps talking about how fantastic Claude is and all the functionalities. And I've downloaded the desktop app because you don't have access to Claude Cowork, as far as I know, on the web version. So you have to download the app, sign in, and I thought, well, why don't we find out from Claude what are the functionalities of Claude Cowork first? So this is what I've got here. I basically asked what are all the benefits and functionalities of Claude Cowork for an educator. Okay, so it says Cowork is a desktop agent. Okay, not a chatbot. You describe an outcome, point it to your files, and it works through multitasks autonomously. It reads, writes, edits, researches, and produces deliverables. To be honest, Manus does that too. Okay, you stay in control. It always shows you its plan before acting, and you approve every single step. Okay, fair enough. All right, so let's have a look at the core capabilities. I like this little infographic here. It's not really an infographic, but at least it's broken it down a little bit more visually, so it's not just out straight with text. So file access, it reads and writes your actual files. Okay, so unlike a chatbot, Cowork can open, read, and edit and create files. And then it's got agentic tasks, breaks down complex tasks into steps and executes them. So Cowork plans multi-step work the way you would, identifying what needs to happen, working through it, and reporting back. Okay, new one, web's research. So it browses the web on your behalf. It's RAG model basically, via Claude in Chrome. Cowork can browse the web, pull information from sites, find sources, and incorporate live information into your deliverables, all without you switching windows or copying and pasting. I mean, Manus could do that already, can I say? And scheduled tasks is a recent addition to Claude, as far as I understand, which Manus could do, I would say months ago. But anyway, scheduled tasks, now it can run tasks on a recurring schedule. So set a task once and tell Cowork to repeat it daily, weekly, or monthly. Useful thing for things like pulling together a weekly student progress digest from your notes, or refreshing a resource list with new material. Okay, what it can read, write, and produce. So Cowork, it can read Word, PDF, text, Markdown, HTML. So read all these existing documents, extract key ideas, rewrite, reformat, and save new additions. Now, next, it can do all the spreadsheet work, which I know that Google Notebook LM has just introduced too. So Excel, CSV files, turn data extracts, attendance sheets, or grade exports into structured analyzed spreadsheets. That would be really useful for a teacher, I think, if we had to do some data analysis on students, whether it's attendance or even qualitative data. I think we can thematically code easily and put it in an Excel sheet. And then, of course, it can read PowerPoint files, draft, update, or restructure slide decks from your notes or source material, useful for tuning a unit overview doc into a ready to review deck. So that's pretty useful too. If I've already got an outline of things that are tried and tested, or learning experiences, inquiry learning experiences, and I want to turn that into an editable PowerPoint file, then It will do it in seconds, and I've actually used Cowork to do that. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to keep scrolling down. Oh, good. I'm glad there's a limitations down the bottom. We'll get to that. So connectors, tools it can plug into. So we've got Notion, Slack, Google Drive. You can pull content from the tools you already use. Okay. Design uses Figma and visual tools. So read visual assets and context from design tools as part of a broader task. That's pretty good. And then more connectors. It's Zapier, DocuSign, FatSet, and growing. So enterprise connectors are expanding. The connector ecosystem is growing as Cowork moves from research preview to a full product. Okay, safety and control. So I like this little bit here about how there's safety and control non-negotiable for educators. Approval before significant action. So before Cowork makes changes to files or takes significant actions, it shows you its plan and waits. You redirect, refine, or stop it at any point. It can't access anything outside the folders you explicitly grant access to. And I think that's quite important in terms of security. And I think that keeps the human in the loop. So rather than you giving Cowork this autonomous, let's say, task, and you not being able to either review it or to agree to the plan of action, you want to always encourage human in the loop. So we always want to be checking each of the stages. So I really like how that is encouraging that. Privacy, conversation history stored locally, great. Unlike Claude AI chat, Cowork conversation history is stored on your device, not on Anthropic's servers. It runs in an isolated virtual machine. You control the network access, allow list in settings. Okay, that's a good one. Now let's just have a look at the limitations. And then I think what I'm going to do is show you very quickly some of the ideas that we could use this for, and then save that for the next video when we actually do, execute those ideas. Okay, so current limitations, be honest with your parents. Still in research preview, things it doesn't support yet. No projects or memory across sessions, so each task starts fresh, okay? No Google Docs, Sheets, Slides integration yet. Sessions don't sync across devices. Oh, and I've got quite a few devices actually that I downloaded the Claude app on. Okay, that's interesting. Not suitable for sensitive student data. Okay, so it's not HIPAA compliant. So I would actually say we shouldn't be putting any sensitive student data into any AI tool just to protect that. Agentic tasks use your usage limits faster than regular chat. Of course it would, that makes sense. Heavy users may need a higher plan. These are known gaps that Anthropic is actively developing. All right, so is there anything else here? It's got some fundamental shift in is this regular Claude chat is conversation. You ask it, answer it, but it can't touch your files. Cowork brings Claude Code's agentic capabilities to the desktop so you can describe an outcome, point it at your work and step away, coming back to the completed work. Okay, so I did in the very beginning, okay, I said, can you give me a few suggestions and a comprehensive prompt to show how we can use Cowork? I'm an educator. I don't want to create any AI slop, but I want to film a video to show the uses of Cowork, that should say, for a teacher that must focus on conceptual understanding. And I could have added inquiry-based learning. So this is like meta prompting, right? Where I'm trying to get a really comprehensive prompt so that I can input that into Cowork and then go through the process of agreeing, verifying, and making sure that I'm happy with the action plan that Cowork comes in. So, okay, so let me just show you some of the ideas, and my next video, I'm going to choose one of these ideas to actually realize. Okay, curriculum mapping across a semester. I think this is a great idea. Point Cowork at a folder of your existing unit plans and ask it to map conceptual threads Where does cause and effect appear across units? Where are gaps in higher order thinking? This surfaces patterns you would never see manually. You're the one judging whether the map is pedagogically sound. I love that. I do a lot of curriculum mapping with my school partnerships. We map out standards, we map out ATLs, we also map out conceptual understandings, unit plans. And so, what a great idea to use Cowork to curriculum map. I think we can do this on manners too, by the way. And I think in a future video, I'm going to compare them side by side. Okay, so I'm just going to look at the next three: differentiating an existing resource, so not generating from scratch. Feed it a complex article or text you already trust and love and ask it to produce 3 versions. Okay. Number 3, research synthesis for a new unit. Ask Cowork to browse the web and pull together key conceptual debates or recent findings on a topic. That's a great idea. And then lastly, end of term student work organization. Point it to a folder of student submissions and ask it to organize, rename, and flag anything unusual, saving you hours on admin so your cognitive energy goes towards the actual feedback. I think that's a really good idea. If you look at my Dropbox folder, if you look at my desktop, it is a mess. So maybe I should look at Cowork and organizing my desktop. Okay, so that was just me looking at what is Claude Cowork. What are some of the ways that we could use it as an educator? I actually haven't looked into Cowork and showing you yet, and used one of the ideas, but I just wanted to give you a quick introduction now, not to waste your time. And then next time I'm going to talk about Cowork, use it for a function that we would hopefully find useful and practical as an educator. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and I hope to see you next time.